What's up guys? I was just messing around with a fairly light lower body workout using the cheapest and I'd say best selling barbell of all time if I was taking a gander at this cat barbell that goes on Amazon, always at a steady price, I think roughly around $70. I picked this up a while ago because I needed it for another video, and that kind of made me think about making this particular topic in this video, which is something I've had submitted to me in the comment section, sometimes even criticism of me whenever I'm upgrading different things. People will say the idea that you don't really need this super expensive home gym equipment to get results. You're kind of wasting your money. And in some ways, I could maybe agree with that to a certain extent, because prior to doing this channel, experimenting and trying different things, and ultimately on the quest to find my favorite home gym along the way and sharing the stuff with you, I usually would go the path of least resistance. In the past, when I've bought and sold stuff, it was just the cheapest stuff possible, especially when they're talking about some of these things I'm covering. If we're talking like a treadmill, something that has moving parts, that's different. But if we're talking just like free weights, nothing mechanical here, stuff that's just gonna aesthetically not look as good, and paint and chipping is gonna happen, this stuff's totally fine. Even things like resistance bands. These resistance bands are $13, and I've used these things very often. I have a lot of other resistance bands. If you guys watch the channel, you guys know that. Now, if I pulled this thing really, really hard, I'm sure I could rip this, but for my basic use that I've used this thing for, I've grabbed these bands many times, and they still have held up. My point in saying all this is a barbell, these cheap weights are dead on. A calf rack I've used in the past that even recently I think was at $83 on Amazon. Spin lock weights, super cheap. You guys, we just did a video that I was talking about that. Someone put this comment in there as well. You do not need to spend exorbitant amount of money to get great results. And I think most people definitely know that. But I really want to make this video because I want to encourage individuals, especially ones that I talk to who are on the fence and thinking they need like top of the line stuff in order to start getting the ball rolling. The only downside, I think, to non-aesthetically pleasing equipment, the stuff I'm just kind of flashing on the screen here, is that sometimes having fancier stuff, nicer stuff, makes you want to use it, encourages exercise adherence, which I think is definitely a thing. These weights do not look very nice. They look kind of goofy, maybe, I don't know, they look cheap, I guess. But as I said, these things are dead on, and in some ways were more accurate than my more expensive weights that I have. And even though I love my Strength Co weights, I bought some Rogue deep dish plates recently, these things are totally fine. And even the selectorized machines nowadays are pretty inexpensive and honestly do most of their results. Some of you guys have shared me some Temu pickups you guys were doing and seeing great things from it. I just bought an inexpensive calf raise machine for less than $100. One of my most used pieces of equipment in here as far as at least this year, at least recent pickups. I just want to really encourage you guys, because when you see stuff that's fancy and costs a lot of money, this is purely icing on the cake and is not going to make one iota of a difference when it comes to actual results, pushing yourself and getting yourself out there in your gym or your garage or basement, whatever, and kind of making it happen. So just want to cover that, guys. I'll flash some of these things down below if you guys are curious, but all these things, I'm not worried about them. Even that cap rack, guys, it seems like it's super flimsy, super cheap. That thing is a 500-pound weight capacity. I would trust that thing still to this day. I gave it away. That thing was fine as long as you put safety clips in there. Point is, get started. Super inexpensive now to kind of get going. I do love USA made equipment, but if you're just looking to kind of get some results and get going, you don't need a huge wallet to do that. Hopefully this video is a little encouraging, maybe informative, I don't know, but I'll see you guys in the next video.